Here we go.
All right, you're looking live at Generation and Generation Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, DJ I Tell You What, aka Cowboy Jules, and I have my dad with me, my co-host, Cowboy Joe, 64, aka Capricorn One.
I am your father. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
And we are back to rule the Cowboys galaxy as father and son. And so you want to say what's up to the people and kind of let them know what we're going to be talking about today?
So, what's up, people? We're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons as we go into this game on Sunday, 12 o'clock game.
Yes. And that's part of the reason why I do think that we're going to be victorious. I think that it's a 12 o'clock game, and I think that we're going to be victorious, guys. It's a it's a must win game for us. This is going to let us know really what to kind of expect. The rest of this, in my mind, what to expect for the rest of the season. I think that you know, 4-4 is really different than 3-5, and so this is going to be a must-win game. Every game from this point out is pretty much a must-win game. But the aura and the confidence that I'm getting from the locker room says that they have a good plan and they're going to kind of they're going to do some good things. What do you think?
Yeah, so I kind of like what I've been kind of hearing this week. They're talking about playing Izzy and Wanye. So we start this game off and we see Izzy and Wanye out there. We're going to be off to a good start because Atlanta Falcons, they like to play Kyle Pitts, a receiver, a lot. Then they line him up in traditional sets. So I just think the key to this game is going to be how much playing time Izzy and Wanye get. And
Yeah, because it was
we don't need to take
definitely.
Dono out the lineup. He can still play. He's just not going to be playing deep.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say that that was a catastrophe last week having Dono cover George Kittle the whole game and didn't really get him no help. Um, One of the things that I would like to see Zim do is make the adjustment much quicker. I would like to see him do that. You know, it shouldn't take 3 quarters for you to realize that hey, their only weapon is is George Kittle and he's dominating Dono. It shouldn't have took all game for him to realize that. And so I would like to see him make some adjustments quicker. I do like the adjustments that he made by taking players like what's the name off the field, number 18 off the field. So I just want to see him continue to make those adjustments in game quicker than he did in the past. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, so like I was saying, just still have Dono playing because the way Bijan Robinson runs the ball, you're going to
Yeah.
still need Dono. So really, at this point, I mean, Zim has been in the game long enough. He should know how to use all of these players and just get them all, active and playing. That way,
Hmm.
things are just kind of spread out evenly. You're using the players in the best situation for them. So, we don't know if Diggs is gonna play, right? He's just not gonna be
Well,
100%.
well, they said it was going to be a game time decision. um, with that,
Mm.
he has a calf tear, so that's not something that's a pretty significant injury, I would think. I don't think that that's something that you want to rush out there. If you got a calf tear, you probably don't want to go out there and make it worse, you know. But we'll see. That's been one of the narratives that I've been, saying. They didn't, the Cowboys not only did Jerry not try to make the team better in the offseason, but they thought that by not making the team better in the offseason, that we were going to be okay and around the rim with what we had. And then once you get to the season and the season starts and you lose what you had, now, the chickens are coming home to roost. You don't have any backup plan. You don't have any depth. You're missing Tank, Micah, Kalen Carson, Trayvon Diggs is banged up. You're missing Marshawn Nealon. You're missing Linville Joseph. You're missing Uh, that's just on defense.
Bland.
You're missing Bland, and these are all starters that I'm naming. Nobody that I've named so far is not a starter, and so you're also missing on offense Brandon Cooks. You're missing uh John Joseph. Sorry, John Stevens. Is that his name, John Stevens or John Joseph? I don't know why I keep saying that. It's John Stevens. Missing John
It's
Stevens.
John Stevens.
You missing and then not even to you missing perennial starters that you had on the team last year. Stephen Gilmore, Tyron, Tony Pollard. You missing a lot of people. So, you know, it's
Brandon
really
Cooks.
just Brandon Cooks, he's on IR. So, you know, it goes to say if you take any team in the NFL and you deplete them of the amount of starters that I just named, that everyone they would all be lucky to be 3-4. I mean to be 3-4. They would be lucky. Those games that we won, I said this last night on Bleacher Report. If we actually this is where I'm at during this with the season right now. With the amount of people that we have missing and the amount of people that's going to be missing for the rest of the season, and the amount of people that when they come back from these injuries, they're not going to be 100% anyway. If we still can reel off and get 8 or 9 wins out this season or 10 wins out this season, that is just that would mean to me that Dak and CD and whoever else, they really, really, really stepped up because I just don't see it.
Well, and that's what you're gonna need. I mean, at this point, at the bottom line is you got to just show up and play. I mean, these guys, you're going into your eighth game. These games,
Mhm.
you can win these games and figure out a way to win it. But what you got to do, your coaches got to have a good game plan on both sides of the ball. And then you just got to do the simple things to win games. And so, if you do that on Sunday, Atlanta, we watched Houston last night. These teams are not like world beaters. I was just, looking at Houston. They don't look like they looked last year. They're just not playing the same. So Atlanta,
They not.
they're one of those teams. I mean, they could be an overrated 6-3. They could be right where they are, but they have their pass rush is worse than ours. So what that means to me is, Dak is going to have time probably to set up and throw. And one of the big things that we've been talking about this week, and I heard today, Will Steele, shout out to Will, he did a segment on Dak just not running at all. And we're not talking about, Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson. We're just talking about, when if the defensive team is going to give you 3 or 4 yards, all you got to do is just step to your left, step to your right, step up. He's just not doing that, and that's a huge thing for Dak. And he had some comments this week about, to me, he's making a lot of his comments after the fact. It's like these are things that you should already know. You should have known that, you're playing in these games like you're playing against the 49ers. This week is going to be another opportunity. You're not playing Lawrence Taylor over there. So when you get a chance to get out of the pocket and make something happen with the way your team is structured right now, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to actually do something. It's all like Michelle Obama said in her DNC speech. You got to do something. And Dak, if he doesn't do something, we're going to lose games, and it's just not going to be any excuses.
And I just want to point out, and everybody can look at the dates and everything. We talked about. I actually named the last show that we did, "Can Dak Run or at all" or something like that. I know that's what I named the show. Can Dak run or can Dak? Why is Dak not running or something to that effect? And the next day, that was the headlines. That's what everybody was talking about. The next day, that was the day you're talking about when Clarence Hill asked him, why aren't you why are your number your escaping the pocket and your running numbers so low to where
Mm.
like it's lower than Aaron Rodgers and it's lower than Joe Flacco who only played a couple games. Why is this? But and Dak was laughing and it was funny and all of that. But to me, we forget that Dak also had an injury before the season, he was in a boot. And so
Yeah.
also, you know, Dak, he does that. Dak is the type of player to where it's just like ever since he broke his leg, he's been that kind of player to where it's just like he's Superman. He tries to make it seem like nothing is wrong, even though something is wrong. Like, like when he had the boot, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's just like, the average human don't wear a boot for no big deal. But it's just like, hey, he had the boot, and then all of a sudden it's like he can't run. But we know that Dak is an older quarterback. He's in his 9 years. He is not running at all. And like I said on the last show, when he came in the NFL, that was that was half of his game was the fact that he will pull the ball down and he will get you those necessary yards to get the first down. Well, in today's NFL, you have to have that in the quarterback. You have to have it. If you don't have it, you're not going to win games. You have to have it. Your your last minute option, if your safety valve is not there, cannot be to throw it into double or triple coverage or take a sack. That can't be it. Or throw it away. That can't be it. What it has to be is I have one more thing that I can do, and I can run and get as many yards as I can and then get down. That's
And
what you
what you have
have
to
to
and
have.
what you have to do, you got to do it early, and you got to let the defenders know
That
that
this
you're
is a
gonna.
possibility.
Yeah, because it just helps your overall offensive flow of your game. It can actually help you, get other guys freed up because the defenders are, looking at what you're doing there. So I mean, at this point, it's all the excuses, all the conversation for Dak, the post game interviews, and all of that stuff is out the window. At the end of the day, you got to step up and just start making plays. And he's mobile enough to be able to do what we need him to do. We're not asking him to run, like I said, like Lamar or some of these other guys. It's just some things he can do. And the other thing that he got to do Sunday, he has to protect the football. This team we're playing, they're not that great, but if you turn the ball over, you're going to give him a chance to beat you. He cannot make these throws where he's just throwing the ball out in the area thinking that CD or whoever is going to run to the spot. He's got to be real careful with the ball. If the play ain't there, a punt for our team the way it's constructed now, just punting the ball is a good thing. So he just needs to be efficient, be smart. Just if the play ain't there, just throw it away. Uh, Play a little smarter with pocket awareness, and you're gonna have a chance. It's gonna be just. I think every game for the most part that we're playing is gonna be just like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh
Yeah.
game could have went other way, but he went out and won it. He threw picks in that game, but he just
Hmm.
made the plays, the plays when he had to make them, and that's what he has to do. He cannot. His play against the 49ers is just not acceptable.
It's
He's
really
done that.
bizarre. It's really
It's
bizarre that he does that against the 49ers year in and
mhm.
year out. That's kind of
he,
bizarre.
but we're not playing the 49ers the rest of the way. So at this point, it's all about him just making it happen. We think we're gonna have Rico back this week. So Rico probably is gonna be chomping at the bit. So hopefully they give him a good number of carries because that's Rico. I think on these games like this, I mean, it's gonna be a fast turf. And Rico is a downhill runner. So look, I
You
think
know, Rico is going to play. I think that Rico, they did say Rico was going to be back, but and that's why I'm saying again, see, all of these things that they're saying, that they're acknowledging that they're doing this week, I kind of feel like that's what's giving us the edge, is what giving me the edge as far as saying, okay, they're probably going to win this game, or it's probably going to be a good game for us because things like that, like Rico gonna play. Why in the world was Zeke and them playing last week and the week before last? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense on any kind of level. If you're trying to win a game, Zeke and them should not be playing. It should be Rico, and that's just it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. So when they come out this week and Rico is playing, of course we're gonna have a good offensive showing. of course he gonna be able to move the ball, and of course CD is gonna have a good game because they doing things like the common sense things like playing Rico. So it's just like, uh, him and Dak, CD and Dak got on the same page last game, and Dak said that CD looked at him on the sideline and said, "Yeah, we back. We pretty much back." And then that was before um the 2 touchdowns. So I fully expect CD to go off this game.
So one other thing I'm looking for somebody else other than Jalen Brooks. So um, they said on one of the drives that we had in the second half when we came back, that Turpin made a big fourth down play.
Mhm.
So I think we can just get Turpin a few plays here and there. We need to get Flanor playing. And Tolbert, to me, Tolbert is just he's gonna play solid. Tolbert is Tolbert. His game is pretty consistent. And so probably need to get, Tolbert a little bit more active until Cooks come back. So at the end of the day, I think we got the guys that we need to have offensively. I think, Guyton played better. So hopefully he can build on that. Now I want to look at it and see what Zach Martin is doing over there. If he's
Mhm.
looking like he did in the game against 49ers, Stargazer, shout out to Star. She was saying it's probably time to sit Zach, and I agree with that. If he's not going to be out there playing and playing effective, he just needs to sit down like Micah and Deron Bland are doing until he's ready. We got
Yeah,
guys because Bass he can he can hold a fort down, and Bass, you know, he actually has good feet. He can get downfield and make blocks. So I want to see what Zach Martin is going to look like in that first half and that first quarter.
yeah, I'll be paying attention to that. And speaking of the line, I think that since the Atlanta has they don't have a good pass rush at all. Um, Dak is going to have a lot more time. So all of these
Hmm.
things that I'm saying and that we're saying, this leads me to believe that they're going to have a good looking game. They don't the Atlanta don't have a good defensive front. They don't. So when they don't have a good defensive front, and our offensive line is is able to protect Dak gonna have time, and then we can run, and then we're gonna be able to run the ball too because we're using Rico. I fully expect for them to be able to dominate on offense. I mean, I do. I expect for them to go right down the field and score on
And I,
on the plays.
and I also understand that they don't travel their corners. They normally keep their corners on the same side of the field, so you can get CD moving around, just get him matched up on their second or third corner.
Well, it's one
Uh,
corner on their team that he literally been getting got all year. He been getting used and abused. Everybody targets him, and it always works. I think the last game, Brian Broaddus said that whoever was on him, whoever they played the last game, he went 10 for 10 on him.
well, their number one corner is AJ Terrell, and I think Bottas was saying that CD had a good game against him,
Well,
but he's their
both of them,
top corner. I don't know
I
who
think
their
it
other
was
corner is.
whoever it is. CD is Miles. They can't guard CD. So we know, and they know that, and we know that. So what that means is that if you're a good coach, if you're a good coach and you know that, then you should expect for Atlanta to double him and shade coverage his way. And and McCarthy should know that this isn't a game where CD needs really is staying in one spot. CD should be on motion every single play, and he should
Yeah.
be playing on the outside, the inside, and he should be even coming out the backfield on some time. CD has to move around on every play in order for him to be successful in this game. And I think that if they do that, he will be successful in this game. And I think that this will be a game also where you see Ferguson get involved because so much attention gonna be on CD because that's their weakness. They don't have a good secondary. They don't have a good line either. So with that being said, Ferguson not gonna have to stay in and block and chip. He gonna be
Hmm.
downfield. So I expect for them to get that going, and I expect for Dak to throw a pick because I feel like that they're gonna be Dak is gonna be overly aggressive because he gonna see the looks that he like, and he gonna be seeing good looks. So you probably gonna have 2 CD touchdowns, but you also probably gonna have a pick. So, these if if the game go like I'm saying it's gonna go, then that just lets us know that it is what it is. The writing is on the wall. These things are we shouldn't be able to transcribe how the game gonna go like that. We shouldn't be
So
able to.
the trade deadline is Tuesday. So tomorrow on our show, we should have just talk about the some trades we can possibly make. And one of the things I want to look at is I think we need a number two tight end. I think they need to. It'll be worth it for them to. And I'm just throwing out a name, not this player, but somebody like him, like a Zach Ertz, a veteran, has been in the league a few years. We need a
Yeah.
number two tight end because the guys that we got, they're not Brevin Spanford. He's really here for his blocking, and he's been doing okay with that. He's actually blocking better than Schoon,
If
but
if 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 Dalton Schultz didn't open his mouth and burn his bridges, he could be back. He could be in looking at for a trade, but he burned his bridge by talking about the
no,
Cowboys organization treats players like animals in the zoo because he's not having a good year. I don't know what you was looking at. He's having a bad year.
Houston is not having a good year.
Well,
I,
they
man,
six
I
and two.
I would have kept Dalton Schultz. I would have figured out a way to they didn't want to pay him either. But just think about what this team would look like if you had Dalton Schultz and
Well,
Ferd.
they
That's
did. They
that's the
did.
answer to Dak right there.
I'm gonna give you some pushback on that because they did want to pay him. He ended up getting the same deal. He ended up getting a lesser deal than he got here with Houston.
Well,
So
I think
they
his
paid him.
agent and I think he did kind of fall out with the Cowboys. But I'm just saying, just
Yeah.
player wise, that's what we need. We need another outlet for Dak. Somebody that he can be comfortable with, gonna be where they supposed to be. He needs another tight end.
And then
So that's something they should be looking at.
I'm gonna also say this. I understand when people say you are what your record says you are. But I don't believe that because if you are what your record says you are, then that means that at the end of the year, when you have a team that's 12-4, they shouldn't get beat by a team that's 10-7. If that's the case, if you are what your record says you are, it's just like Houston. Houston record is 6-2 right now. If they go into the playoffs and they have a great record, if they have let's just say that they're 12-5
Well, they
or
6-3 now because of that loss.
they 6-3, they could absolutely get to the playoffs and lose the first game with a winning record, just like
Well,
we
yeah.
did last year. So that your record ain't what you want. You're not what your record say you are. You could
So
be
it's
a
not.
better team or a worse team.
Yeah, it's not like an exact science. It can you can
Mm-mm.
be that's the Bill Parcells started that.
We
But yeah,
not we
you
don't
can
look
have
like
an
a
overrated team that's got a winning record.
or underrated team. It's just like we go out here and win Atlanta. We don't look like a 4-4 team. We don't look like a
Yeah,
3-4 team right now. We could easily be 1-6 or 1-7. Or we could also easily be 6-2. Because we could have won the 49ers game. No question
yeah.
about it.
We could have won
So
the
it's
49ers game for sure.
for sure. So it's but anyways, it's just about McCarthy and that's why Cowboys fans, and that's why this season is not over yet, and that's why it's we're really in a tough position. The season is not over yet, but it kind of is, but it kind of ain't. It could change overnight. It could change. We can win this game next week and then win against Philly, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden the whole thing changes. But we could also lose and it's already ready to look at the next season. So it just like we could have won against the 49ers, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. But we be this close. And that's why I
Yeah.
said with the players that we have missing and we still getting this close, you really got to look at McCarthy because McCarthy needs to, he's supposed to give you that edge,
Hmm.
he's supposed to give you that edge. He's
Well,
supposed to be able to pull it out.
I think at this point McCarthy he already kind of knows what's happening behind the scenes, so he should be motivated to put some good game plans together and come out there and try to you know really try to put a better product out as far as his offense and what he's doing until he gets some of these guys back. So that's what Sunday's all about. So We say we weren't gonna be on long, so you want to go ahead and wrap?
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap. Appreciate y'all for checking in with us. Make sure y'all comment, comment, and subscribe. And I think we're gonna do good against Atlanta. So we'll be coming back tomorrow. What we talking about?
Talk about some trades we can possibly make.
Okay.
What positions we need to try to shoot for. It's some players out there. I think we can. We got those conditional fifth round picks,
Mm-hmm.
so we need to talk about some of the players we can kind of target. I know a tight end is going to be one for me, so we can look at that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to look at. I mean, and then these trades are not supposed to be making our team success story overnight because of this trade. We just looking for pieces that can help us this year and next year. And we just so the trade we should definitely be active in the trade. Michael Irvin told Jerry and said it out on his show that we need a trade. And Jerry said on his show today that he listens to Mike, and he said that if it's something out there that he will do something about it if it's something out there. So we'll see. You never know with Jerry what might happen. We never know. So we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the trades and to see if we can muster up some good trade pieces, and we'll see y'all then. So y'all in the meantime, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned and hit the notification bell so you can see when we go.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, peace out.